The thing is, you never want to call it an addiction, but you know that your hand always itches to know what is happening on social media, on TikTok, on Twitter, or X, on Instagram, and wherever. But I think I did have a phone problem before last year. At every time I was not doing something, or even when I was doing something, going to bed, whatever, I always wanted to know what is happening on social media right now. And at some point, I knew I needed to change that. And that was something I really worked on last year. And I achieved good results. Now, if you have read the book Atomic Habits, this book emphasizes one thing a lot, which is systems. Basically, instead of focusing on a goal, focus on the systems that can influence that goal. And I think last year, I really worked on a lot of my systems in the context of phone usage. And I'll be sharing 5 of those systems with you in this video, and hopefully some of them can serve as a cure to your phone problem. So the first tip I have here is keep your phone as far away as possible. I do this when I want to work or do something productive. Like I could leave my phone in the living room and then go do what I need to do in the bedroom, like at my workspace. And also when I want to sleep. This way, I don't go to bed doom scrolling or waking up and then going on social media before getting on with my day. I put my phone far away, sometimes even as far as putting it on the fridge. The play here is the more out of reach your phone is, the less urge you have to pick it up. Now, while I'm walking or doing whatever, I might still get the urge to check social media, what's happening, but I ensure that I don't bring the phone with me, because the moment I bring the phone with me, this particular system I did a lot last year. It even got to a point where I didn't even know where my phone was sometimes, that I would even have to ask Siri, where is my phone?
Looking for the used iPhone 13 Pro. It's nearby. Pinging your iPhone now.
Second system, turn off all notifications. The thing with this phone urge is that sometimes it just takes one thing to make you pick them. Something like notifications. Like you could be so focused doing what you have to do, and then one notification distracts you. Now, by turning off these notifications, you reduce the urge to pick up your phone. You might still have the urge, but at least one thing that triggers the urge is no longer there. But I'd advise that you don't put your phone totally on Do Not Disturb so that you don't miss out on some important notifications. For example, I have some applications on my phone where I can specify what notifications I'm interested in. Duolingo is a good example. They send me thousands of notifications that I don't care about, but I do care about the notification that reminds me about my streak. I have over 1,500 day streak on Duolingo, and that's something I don't want to lose, so the notifications there are still important to me. So you can do this for several applications. I also do this for my WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the main way I communicate with my family and my friends, but the notifications I get from messages can be distracting. But if I turn off all notifications, even when somebody gives me a call, I won't see a missed call on my phone. But by going on WhatsApp and specifying that I'm not interested in these particular notifications, now if somebody calls me and I'm not there to pick the call, later on when I pick up my phone, I can check my log of notifications later and see that I miss a call. But this depends on the applications you are using. I'm just advising that instead of turning off everything, just specify the notifications that you are not interested in or the ones you are interested in. The third system is, if you have an iPad or a secondary phone, ensure that that phone doesn't have any social media apps on it. So I got an iPad, I think last year or last 2 years, and I got it because I wanted to become an artist with Procreate. Yeah, I was one of those people who got an iPad thinking they would, explore the artist world, but I only did few things here before I gave up. But anyways, sometimes I'm not really interested in social media, but I'm interested in a different application on my phone. It could be YouTube Analytics or LinkedIn or my emails. But the problem is that when you pick up the phone to check these applications, your brain could just tell you,
you could also check out TikTok.
It happens so unconsciously, and then you find yourself using your phone more than you actually plan to use it for. So what I do is that on my iPad, iPad, I have these important applications that I need on a day-to-day basis, YouTube Analytics, Gmail. So this way I can use my iPad at my workspace, or I can take my iPad with me when going to bed. And now I don't have to worry about getting lost on social media. Point of all of this, if you have a secondary phone, use that for your main applications, and then you don't have to worry about doom scrolling when all you wanted to check was LinkedIn. The fourth system I adapted last year was to use the web version of applications and limit myself to using it on my laptop. So I had Twitter on my phone before, it's now called X, and this made me use the app a lot. So a couple of months ago, I deleted the app and then I stuck to using the web version of the app on my laptop. So on one part, using the web version of applications can affect your user experience because usually the native applications have a much more better experience than the web version. So that is one way you can, reduce your urge. But then the other way is that instead of doing it on your phone, you do it on your laptop. And this way, for me, I only open X when I am on my laptop. I don't even put it on my company laptop, which means the days where I go to the office, I don't even know what is happening on X anymore because my company laptop doesn't have X, my phone doesn't have X. I only get to know what's happening on X if a friend shares it with me, or if I get home and then I open my personal laptop. And what I noticed the last couple of months is that my interest in X really reduced. Although there were still few cases where I was so interested in a particular trend or topic, and then I would take my laptop along with me to the bed to doom scroll X a bit before I sleep. But of course, this is not very convenient. I cannot take my laptop every time, but the fact that it stays on my laptop and not my phone, another factor that triggers my phone urge, has been eliminated. You can use this for different applications, maybe your Instagram. I think I do this for one of my Instagram accounts now. Whatever application that usually makes you doom scroll or spend unnecessary time, you can limit yourself to the web version and also limiting yourself to your laptop. Now, the last system, which isn't really like a big system, but just thought to add it, is setting time limits on your phone. But the thing with time limits is that they don't really work. So on my phone, I have time limits for social media. I think I have just 2 hours. But whenever this time limit comes up, like, hey, you have used more than your limit today, all I do is just cancel and continue using my application. So why do I still have this time limit? Well, for me, it's more of a mental or psychological thing. It's the fact that when this notification comes up in the night, maybe like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., then I know that, oh, I did less social media today. And maybe there is this sort of mental award, like, oh, you did a good job today. And then another day, if the notification comes up by 12 p.m. that you have already used 2 hours today, then it keeps me conscious, like, oh, you have used a lot of social media today, you should reduce it. So that's what time limits are for me. They are not necessarily a hard restriction on only 2 hours, you cannot use it again, but just for me, more of a conscious thing, so I know how much I have used social media in a day. But in your case, you can go as far as downloading applications that would actually restrict you from specific applications after you have used it for a particular time. Now, I don't want to do something like that for myself, because if I want to use social media, I want to use social media. I don't want anything to stop me. But maybe that's what you need, or maybe that's even what I need, and maybe something I would consider doing this year, just having more of those hard restrictions. But yeah, you can try out time limits. Maybe the whole conscious awareness is enough for you, or you can go as far as getting those hard lock time limit apps. Well, those are the 5 systems that I really adapted last year. I think there are still more, but these are the 5 major ones I could come up with. I hope one of these can be helpful to you. You don't have to try 5 of them at once, but just try one first, like putting your phone far away. I think that's like the easiest to start with. And if you have maybe some tips or systems that also work for you, let me know or let us know in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope that your phone addiction gets better in 2025.